Marketing and distribution time is the final stage of the process for you, but it starts back in the very beginning. You just don't wait till the end to start thinking about marketing and distribution. And that goes for whether you're going to try to do it all on your own, a kind of DIY strategy, or you're going to rely on formal distributor. You got to start thinking about the distribution and the audience and the marketing of your film from the very beginning. And this is where you're going to rely on those two things that I've talked about over and over: building a network of folks who are enthusiastic about your film and involved and participating in the process, and also that coalition that's based on the subject matter of the film and anybody who is in the film who's an influencer. So you're going to want to have those things lined up and thinking about those for marketing and distribution, regardless of the route you're going to take. You're going to need those two things, because when you finish your movie, you're not just going to have a DVD or a download or a video file and just have it finished and all of a sudden people are going to flock to you and ask to see your movie. You're going to have to start building that buy-in, building momentum, building energy, building curiosity, building desire to see your film, so that when it's ready, people are ready to see it and they will know about it. They'll already be processing that information in your mind. You know, there are a lot of studies that show that when somebody makes a decision about something, especially about a product or a service, and in this case, your movie is a product, when they go to make a decision, they've really had to have been exposed to or thought about or seen an initial idea or a product 7 times before they consciously make a decision about it. And your film is going to be no different. You need to make sure that people are aware of it. In general, just that they have an impression of it, and then hopefully it can be a positive impression. And if you've done your work to build that network and to consider a coalition and an audience for your film, then they've already had those impressions along the way, so that when it's ready to distribute, when it's available, they have made the decision. The decision is that they do want to see it, and they're willing to go look for it wherever it's available and to watch the film. As you're building that coalition and you're nurturing that coalition and you're nurturing your network of supporters and participants in your film, there are 3 tools that you're going to want to use throughout the process to nurture them and to be marketing your film and preparing your audience to see the film during distribution. Those 3 tools are going to be social media, a website, and email. Those are the 3 big tools that you're going to need from the very beginning. The sooner that you can have those ready to go, the better. Don't wait until your film is already finished or almost finished or in post to start worrying about social media, having those social media accounts ready, to have a landing page, some type of website landing page ready to go, and to build your email list. When we talk about social media, obviously we're talking about the big ones, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Have an account built for those, especially, I know you're thinking nobody uses Facebook anymore, or Facebook isn't quite as cool as it used to be. Going to need the Facebook. I would say more than any of those other accounts, have Facebook ready to go. And then with your audience, consider what other ones are priority, but it's probably worth your time to consider all of those major ones of Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. Now, with that social media, you build the account, and then you're going to want to consider what you're doing, what messages you're presenting with those accounts. Don't constantly be hassling them and asking them for things, but the point of having that social media is to educate, to entertain, and inspire, and find ways to serve your audience. And as you start to serve them, you educate them, you inspire them, and you entertain them, you're going to start to build goodwill and momentum and energy and positive morale with that coalition in regards to your film. As you're posting to social media, you want to use we language, because that's really what it is. You know, we talked about making a film takes a village. You have this network of folks, you're building the coalition, and it's all about what you all can do together. So make sure as you're in each stage of the process, you may feel alone, especially in those early times of writing and development, because it might be mainly you doing most of the work or all of the work when you're writing and you're starting to put things together. But be inclusive and use that we language. We just did this. We want to celebrate this. We're celebrating you. Use that type of language to encourage them and to reflect to them that they're a part of this process. And you might be thinking, when you're in the writing and development stage, there may not be a lot to post about, but there are a few different things that you can think about and strategies that you can take when you feel like there's not as much material. One thing can be just celebrating significant milestones. When you've completed the screenplay or a rewrite of the screenplay, you can announce that and celebrate that, or even take a picture, print out the screenplay and take a picture of that and celebrate it. When a new person has agreed to be part of your crew or your cast, that can be something to celebrate and share out, and make sure you're tagging the appropriate folks in your post so that then they can share out to their network. If you land a location or a key prop or things like that, again, you can celebrate that, and it's a way to include folks in the process. They might be curious about how you're pulling all this together, or how a movie is made, how the magic happens. And so that's a way that you can be educating and entertaining them and inspiring them. One of the other things that you can consider as well is look for other accounts, other content that's out there that is going to be similar to your movie subject matter or what your audience is going to like. For instance, if you're making a film about minor league hockey and you're giving those updates about the screenplay and the cast and the crew and the locations along the way, you can also be reposting other folks' content. So if there's a humorous video out there that's related to hockey or hockey culture, if news is trending in hockey world or minor league hockey world, you can be reposting that, posting memes and things like that are related to the subject matter. You can take that approach with whatever your subject matter is. And again, the more clear you are about your coalition and aligned with the coalition and the subject matter, then the easier it's going to be to brainstorm the types of content that you can be reposting to your account and sharing with the coalition that you're nurturing for your film. Now, obviously, once you get into production, there's going to be more to share. You can be showing behind the scenes photos, behind the scenes videos. Pull out your phone and do a little 30-second stand-up from set and give a description of what's going on that day, or do a quick on-the-fly interview with a cast member or a crew member. Think about that type of material that you can use where you're giving folks behind-the-scenes look at what's happening, and again, including them in the process. They don't feel distant, but they know what's happening each day. They can be encouraged. Now, you don't want to be posting every 5 minutes and flood everybody's account, and then they get frustrated with you and they turn you off. But doing something daily can help build and nurture that audience and keep the momentum going in a positive way. Now, with a website, you might be thinking that it's premature to have a website, or why would you need a website in the early days? Well, one, it's good to have that landing page so that it lends some credibility, some validity to your project. It makes it feel real and professional. A real thing is happening here. It doesn't have to be anything super complex. Just one landing page with some basic information. On your landing page, you should have the working title and the log line for your film. You should have some artwork that's representative of the film. Any key participants, whether it's a director of photography or some cast members who have come on board, those can be listed there. And then one of the most important things, maybe the most important thing for your website, is the ability to collect email addresses. Now, you want to be able to collect those email addresses because those are the folks and the way in which you're going to reach out once you're in distribution phase. You want to make sure that if there's anyone with any interest at any stage in your film, you can be able to collect those email addresses so that you can reach out to them later when there's action steps to take or there's a purchase to be made. You can also be using those email addresses to celebrate, again, the same way that you're celebrating with social media. Occasionally send out an email, celebrate what has been accomplished so far, express gratitude because you're not doing this alone. A lot of people are supporting you, so you can send out thank you notes. And then you're also going to use those email addresses when it's time to invite people to a festival or take the next steps with distribution, encourage them to go to a site or a streaming place or to buy a DVD. You're going to use those email addresses for that case. The way in which you're going to use your social media and email to work together is that you can post things on social media that are encouraging folks to go to the website and submit their email address. You can do that a few different ways. But one of the main drivers for that is you could have giveaways, you could have contests that you're promoting on social media, and part of it is to collect the email address. So you share on social media, you say, go to the website and submit your email address, and then you're gonna be entered to win a giveaway. Now, I know you don't have a vacation to Hawaii or $5,000 to give for a giveaway, but if you consider your coalition, that audience that you're building, you can think about things that could be interesting to them that could cost you very little to give away that might motivate them. One could be that they win a copy of the film once it's ready to go. So that can be one giveaway. You could be offering up a autograph poster from the film, autographed by cast and crew. That could be a giveaway. You could also give away copies of films that are similar to your film, and you're giving away those DVDs or those downloads. There are lots of different things that you can consider for those giveaways. You know, once you're in post-production, you could be giving away an interesting prop that came from the film. So those are things to think about, but you want to use those things in tandem where you're providing education, entertainment, inspiration with social media, you're serving that audience, you're updating them on your progress, you're giving them a peek behind the scenes, you're offering giveaways, and all of that is driving them to your landing page where you can collect their email address so that when there are action steps to be taken, you have the email address from those folks so that then you can make announcements not only on social media, but directly to them in their inbox of their email address to increase the chances that they're going to show up at the festival and that when it's time, they're going to buy the film. And again, whether you're distributing on your own or you're partnering with a distribution partner or a formal distributor, you're going to need to contact those people. That a distributor isn't going to do all the marketing on their own. They're going to rely heavily on you to market to the fan base that you've already created. And if you have that fan base, that coalition built up and strong and active, that's going to be that much more encouraging to a distributor or to a festival to accept your film. In addition to your social media and your website and emails, you're also going to want to utilize the press, especially your local press, your local newspapers or radio stations, TV stations, any sort of publications like that. If you have a weekly or monthly or quarterly entertainment or community magazine in your area, utilize that press. Not only does it get the word out, but again, it's adding some legitimacy that adds some energy and morale, momentum to your project. You know, don't be afraid or think that your project is too small to be entertained by these places. Look at how to put together a formal press release. And with that press release, you're going to be announcing the project, and you can even announce it at different stages. Once you have the screenplay completed and you're starting to build your schedule and you know when you're going to be in production and roughly where you're going to be in production, you can send out that announcement. You can send out one when you've wrapped production. You can send out one when you've hit wrap on the picture and you have picture lock and you're ready to distribute. You can make an announcement when you've had distribution or when you're entering a festival. And start to build friends, look for friends or networking opportunities with your local press and keep them updated. You can also invite them to come on set. If it's a particularly slow period, or if there's some sort of angle with your film that's connected to the community, a reporter might even want to come out and visit you on set and take some photos or some video and create an article based on that. So be sure to invite them and think about the key opportunities and times to invite them where it's going to look big or it's going to look especially interesting, or if you have a key influencer who's part of the cast today when they're going to be shooting scenes, that's when you want to invite those folks and to continue to build that momentum. And when you're communicating with the press and you're thinking about the things that you want to relay to them, think about the interesting angles, what's going to be interesting for them and for their publication and their audience. What kind of local ties does your production have to the community? Is there a local university where several people are alumni from that university that are involved in the film, and maybe then the university wants to put the film in their publications? You know, is there a local celebrity involved? Maybe it's not somebody super famous, but within your community, they're really well known and an influencer, and you want to be sure to communicate that, whether it's a local restaurant that's getting involved with the film. You know, I was consulting with some filmmakers recently, and they were telling me that in their film was someone who was really popular in the local music scene, and I encouraged them to include that in their press release. What was also very interesting about their particular story, it's really the film is driven by three young brothers who are all interested in filmmaking, and they're coming together to make this film. So you have the three brothers that are sharing the responsibilities of producing, writing, and directing, and the cinematography and the sound and a lot of the gaff and grip and lighting work. The three of them are owning those responsibilities, and they're working in tandem. That's a pretty interesting story. So if you combine that with their partnership with the local music scene, those are some storylines that the local press might want to run with. And then again, in your area, if the local TV stations, if they have times that are devoted to strictly local news, in some areas there might be one of the affiliates, often a Fox affiliate, doesn't have a big morning show like NBC or CBS or ABC. So that local Fox affiliate might be something to tap into, because every day they're having to fill multiple hours every morning with local original content, and they're always looking for something interesting to add in there. So you might even get invited to a local TV show featuring local news. That's another avenue for you to explore. Now, with any of this, any opportunities that you have through the press, any publicity that you're gaining, you want to be able to capture that momentum so that you can not only experience interest now, but interest later. You want to keep that going, so you want to be able to capture email addresses. So again, have your social media accounts active, have your landing page ready, be ready to collect email addresses on the landing page. So as you start to experience this buzz and some people become curious about your film, they're gonna go searching around, and they can like and follow your film on social media. They can submit their email address on your website. And again, you might want to be ready to time a giveaway to similar timing as when you're receiving that buzz and those publications are covering you, so that then you can even further encourage folks to submit those email addresses, so there's action steps to take. One of my biggest regrets is sometimes with our films, we didn't always have those things lined up well in the moments that we were experiencing a lot of buzz. Sometimes we may have gotten a lot of press coverage during production when we were still shooting the film. And so there wasn't an action step that we could encourage folks to take, like going to a festival screening or to buy a DVD or buy a download, or to go to Amazon and stream the film. And we didn't already have something set up to capture those email addresses or to get folks to follow and like us on social media. So even though we hit a spike and there were some people that saw us in the local newspaper, on the local TV station, we didn't get to capture that momentum and actually use it in our favor later when we needed folks to take action steps. So that's really important for you to have all of those things set up as soon as possible, so at any moment when there's a bump in the buzz and the energy around your film, you're able to capture that and translate that into action steps and future momentum. Now, through all of this with your marketing and distribution, one of the other key elements is the artwork for your film. We're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but we always do. We judge a movie by its cover. We judge other people by their appearance, and it's going to be no different for your film. So another way that you can set yourself up for success in marketing and distribution is to have really great artwork. I talked with a distributor who's from Castle Rock Entertainment previously, and he told me, he said, I can sell a terrible movie with great artwork, but I can't sell a great movie with terrible artwork. And that's a lesson and a challenge for you to consider, is you have to have great artwork for your film for people to believe in it and for people to want to make an investment in it. So there's a few different ways that you can approach that. Again, if you have talented graphic designers or a talented graphic designer in your network that would be excited to work on a feature film, that's great. If you don't, the next step is to go to local colleges and universities who have graphic design programs and offer it up as an opportunity, a learning experience for students, that they could work on an interesting project that has meaning, that could be part of their portfolio, and you could get really great artwork. Now, they might be willing to do that for free, or you could make it a contest, and whichever poster design or artwork design for your movie that you choose, then the winner gets a little bit of money or a gift card or something like that. But be sure to tap into that network. Now, if you can't do that approach, you don't have a graphic designer in your network, and you don't have a local university program that wants to participate in an opportunity like that, the next step is to look online. You know, there are sites where you can get freelancers to participate in something like this at a fairly low cost, something like Fiverr, or there are other sites that actually do contests, and you choose the contest winner and then you just pay them and not the folks who submitted. So those are some strategies that you can implement to get really great artwork for your film. And remember, all along this process, no matter what stage you're at, the most important thing that you can do is to be building that coalition and that network of supporters for your film.